you know, that's why I am who I am at this point, because of what I've learned. There's a reason I'm this way, you know, and there's a reason I feel this way. And it's not that I'm not for women's rights, or I used to be a feminist. I used to unashamedly call myself a feminist. I can no longer do that because I have been so heavily involved in learning about this issue, and you know, that's why I am who I am.
We are discussing sex today, in its many guises. I've always found it interesting that sex work is something that's illegal, because as my friend pointed out yesterday, it seems odd to say that you can have control over your body, about who you sleep with, the ability to have an abortion, things like that, but it stops at your ability to make money from your own body.
And I would put that under the heading of under what terms you're willing to have sexual exchanges with, you know, sexual encounters with anyone. And some of these encounters there's actually very little sex involved, right? So if you're hiring a professional dominatrix,
there's almost never any sex when you're speaking about. It's very odd for a dom to actually ever sleep with her clients.
It's not typically what they want you to believe, what our opponents want you to believe. They want you to have a picture in your head of a woman lying there being traumatized by her, by the man, essentially. And most people go there. That's where they go in their heads. And, you know, like anytime you see any news media about this, it's always the women who are being dragged into the police station and rescued, or demonized, or the women's faces, or the typically trans women's faces are on mugshots, and everybody wants to see ugly, things, and not have to think about the fact that you may see the mugshot, but what happened was that this person was engaging in sex with another consenting adult in the vast majority of cases.
We're all animals.
There are a lot of people that really uptight about the concept of prostitution, but are perfectly happy to look at pornography. And that's a prostitution as well. It's people having sex for money.
We're all animals. She's a god.
That there is an ugly side to sex work. There is lots of poverty, and some people can be coerced into work that they don't necessarily want to do, maybe to support an addiction, or even sometimes their family, and they don't want to do it. And that's not, I think that if prostitution was decriminalized and regulated, it might keep some of the people who are coerced into it out of the business.
Some sex workers made a video, piece where they were all talking about how they came out to their parents, declaring that they were sex workers. This is part of what they do to survive, and they like it, they're okay with it. They all have different little stories, and that's all this video was. It caused a huge uproar. People wanted to revert immediately back to the stereotype that they're all diseased and problem, and didn't enjoy it, even though the sex workers themselves were speaking on the video with their own words, and their own faces, telling them that they are fine with it and they just want to be accepted, that sort of thing.
Sometimes things I want to break. Virgin is kiss.
know it sounds weird to say trained, but a sex worker who's familiar with people with certain sorts of physical disabilities or mental disabilities
We're all animals.
is the best person to be engaging in a sexual relationship with these people. And just because they either have a certain amount of mental sort of disability or physical disability doesn't mean that strips them of the right to have a sex life.
What kind of statement is that? Why don't you just kiss this?
She had a gentleman under her care who, for his own safety, had to physically be hands-on restrained at all times. But written into his care instructions was the fact that he was a human being and he had a right to sexual release. So his carers had to keep their hands on him, hold him for his own safety while he masturbated. The fact was he had every right to have a sex life. Just because he could accidentally hurt himself or others didn't mean that stripped him of the right. People who happen to have physical and mental disabilities that aren't able to have a normal relationship, that have every right to sex. It's part of the rights of a human being to be able to express yourself sexually. And sometimes that's the only appropriate option for you. And that's how I think sex work in general needs to be looked at. It's therapeutic to the people engaging in it. Whether it's just convenience or physical safety issues. Sometimes the best person to deal with it is someone who is being paid to do what they're doing and understands the risks and the obstacles in dealing with someone, for instance, who has sort of spasmodic muscles. Can't possibly be accountable totally for their own muscle movement. And one of the stories I'm familiar with is a man who, in seeing a therapeutic sex worker, that's one of the very few things that after he had had sex, his body was able to control his own natural way for a period of time. So it was absolutely a therapeutic act.
Hey, we're all animals. Why don't you just kiss this?